Hello, dear people from YouTube from a not too distant future, and hello everyone here with me on stream. Today it's time for some rocks. Pretty simple, we want to dress our map, and so we start from something my community really loves, adding a huge amount of rocks to the cliffs to make the cliff look better without losing the original feel of Warcraft 3. So let's begin. Now this is a huge ass rock, I agree, so maybe we could make it a bit smaller to begin with. Now that's very brownish rocks. Okay. The idea is to dress those cliffs as much as possible. Make sure the cliffs... I mean, there's something like many people don't agree with me, okay? So there are a lot of people who are actually disagreeing with me on this, which cliffs look bad in their opinion. Now, of course, Reforged cliffs looks better because this iris texture, I think it looks honestly quite nice. Some people say they don't look good. Now, they could look better for sure, but I think that if dressed properly, they look quite nice, and beside that, they really sell you the vibe of the game, because we should not forget that every game has its own visual style, and we should try to preserve the visual style of Warcraft 3, even if it looked dated. Like the tiles are dated. Okay, now you paint the texture and it's much better, much more convenient, like StarCraft 2 does. But I think that having the tiles makes this feel Warcraft 3 in a way that it should feel, because this is Warcraft 3. It's not a different game, okay? So this is something I really stress out. I really care about that. A lot of people think that rocks like this are not enough to make the clip looks good, and so they spend a lot of time, a lot of doodads to cover everything. I don't agree. I mean, it's fine if you don't want to make Warcraft 3. If you want to make like a different game in Warcraft 3, I agree. Because you should probably aim for a different art direction and art style. But so long you're making Warcraft 3 or Warcraft 3 inspired gameplay or game even in the same setting, you should keep the cliffs. This is my opinion. Yeah, I agree, but it's not difficult in Reforged. I would also agree that it's harder to dress cliff to make them look good in classic HD. Okay, because classic HD terrain, I mean, not classic HD, I'm sorry, in the 2.0 terrain. Now, this is the Reforged terrain, the old option, but if we were using the new Reforged, which is more similar to classic, I think that terrain looks bad. Like the cliff looks extremely bad. So this is why it's also worth to use them. But still, I think the visual identity of the game should be kept as much as possible. This is why I still work with cliffs, and I think the style here is pretty good. Like, I don't like Warcraft 3 style that doesn't look like Warcraft to me. And I think the Reforged model look Warcraft enough, more than a game which is dressed like Diablo, for example. And yeah, I see people online complaining about cliffs a lot, but Bylink, I'm not going to add more units to Dalaran because it is time and it is not necessary. Like, I never held back on anything like that in the past. I never held back on making the Silver Moon forces being actually unique. But these elf forces are going to be reused in the Bloodbath campaign. They are also for the player. Now, Dalaran like this. What kind of abilities should I give a Warcraft 2 mage, which I cannot give to the various archmages in the city or the council wizard defending the city? It's more than enough, I think. It's still Warcraft 3, okay? Just like the Glyph, I also want to preserve this kind of identity of the various factions. Like, I think the game should be honored, not changed too much. My personal opinion. Yeah, they replaced Reforged texture with stuff which looks better. Worse, sorry. It's much worse. So I can stand 2.0 cliffs and terrain overall. I think the tile looks much worse. I could agree that they may look closer to Classic, but to be honest, Classic doesn't look that great. So if you want to keep it like Classic, okay. Then you can translate a map to Reforged better, but I don't know. I think we could make them better. Like, if we could add some mesh and some foliage in the form of rocks and stuff like this, they would look better by themselves, without all this need of dressing and dressing and dressing that I have to do. Yeah. That's the same reason. I don't want to change the hero kit. I don't want... One of the rules I gave myself was no hero gets changed. Hello, Lowest Entropy, welcome. No hero gets changed in this, so there is no change for any one of the heroes the player controls. I am all in to give you special abilities for bosses and enemy heroes, but I am strongly against giving player heroes different abilities than default Warcraft 3. I prefer to redesign the gameplay to make those abilities useful, like I did in the prologue by adding a lot of areas you will need trial to explore, stuff like this, or making it not cost mana, for example, before Blizzard did it, by changing the actual balance. And speaking about Farsight, the worst ability in the game, probably. Like, some stuff can be redesigned. Like, I am all in to improve an ability that exists already. Like, let's make another example here. Shades. I gave Shades different abilities in order to make them useful in the campaign, without altering them too much. Not that they become able to attack, for example, okay? And also I changed how the Necromancer works, because I think in the campaign it works better to have the Necromancer spawn one unit and randomize a little bit more what comes out, depending on the upgrade. And changing also the mana cost and the cooldown. Yeah. If you want to make cliffs look good in Reforged, this is what you do. If you want to get rid of cliffs, you find some kind of do that to hide all of them. I personally dislike doing that. I could do that. I don't like doing that. Yeah, no, the Shipmaster is Shipmaster only. He's the one and only. The Shipmaster is the last member of the Council of Six. What the fuck is that? Okay, it's here. Pom 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 pom. Okay, so yeah. That's a bit more realistic. The Ship School of Arcane. Or the Arcane School of Ship. Like, if my audience was Italian, I would have probably designed the Shipmaster to be from Sardinia. Because here in Italy, people from Sardinia are renowned to be shepherds, okay? And so they love their ships and stuff like that. There's a lot of memes about this, and so I was like, yeah, it would be cool to make it Sardinian, but nobody will get reference because only Italians would, and Italians are the very strict minority of my player base, so it will not be much logical to do that. Yeah, I'm all in to improve their abilities. Like, if we can, like, for example, Death Pact success, okay? But in this campaign, you have a lot of missions in which you can actually use ally troops. And so I gave you the ability to use from allied troops, like steal the life of allied troops. And moreover, you can also do this without spending mana. And I think these changes are enough to make it work well in my campaign. Now, we might argue that people don't know this, even if I wrote an int, and so they don't do that. But if they discover, they will say, oh wait, this is actually cool now. It makes some encounters so much easier. Yeah, it is how it's designed on purpose. Like the Necromancer, people don't understand and don't use them properly, but if they would read the actual text and cooldown, they would see, oh yeah, they work differently now. They work... It's easier to use them as sustain and not burst. Yeah, in Italy. Yeah, this is how I designed it, yeah. The goal was to be used in boss fights mostly. But also mission like 7, the one before this, to restore your health, killing your allies, which are spawned. Also by adding chaos damage and starting items, Arthas is much stronger than usual. And so to keep him alive and fighting in the front line is better than saving your troops, I think. Oh, so many cliffs, so much to do. Look at how many rocks here. I would like to have like a button place rocks. It does for me in a way which is pleasant to see. That I'm wishing for too much. In the era of automation, I have to manually place hundreds of rocks. Yeah. Yeah, I will need that. I will be all into that. A rock placing AI. Like, we give it all of my rock placement and then they place it for me. From Kamiko, welcome to the stream. Were you starving for more rocks? It's rocking time. To be faster this time, I decided a different approach. Like, I'm dressing everything with only one type of rock. And then I will dress everything with another type of rock. And then another one, so that I don't have to keep switching variants. Yeah, and I that actually works. I mean, technically speaking, this thing that I'm doing could be statistically approximated having enough data. So I see no particular issue in creating an AI able to place rocks correctly, to be honest. It's not that I am some kind of rock genius or something. Find it. Okay. I should hire interns to... unpaid interns to place rocks for me, like this. Imagine I come back and I find everything placed already. Cliffs. Yeah, another corrupted goblin lab. This is not corrupted here, but just a placeholder. But I will copy it from the previous mission. It'll be the same. So sky barges for everyone. Aren't you happy? Because it will not make sense to introduce something and use it on the one. So when Jungle Games played my campaign, not this one, of course. I mean, yeah, this one, but not these maps. It told like that final mission should be where you use everything you have seen before, and I agree. So we are going to use everything we've seen, including sky barges. Going to give in everything. Well, the rocks are like complements of cliffs. These are not. This is like a way to extend the cliffs, basically. If you remember, in the snow map, I've done this using some more custom doodads because rocks everywhere are not fitting really with the snow. But they are basically an extension of the cliffs. This is why I try to color them in a similar way. It is not realistic terrain. I know, but I mean, Warcraft 3 doesn't have realistic scale to begin with, so what are we even talking about? Doesn't it? I think it does it, right? The problem with the game is that if Blizzard makes changes to stuff, then those changes are reflected into everything. Because on how the game handles data load, which is terrible, to be honest. StarCraft 2 does it much better. Yeah, everything that exists will be done. This is the plan. I want to give the fans the experience that they seems to like. Yeah, even in the campaign, they are not separate. Sadly, there is a huge problem because future patches can destroy basically campaigns. This needs to change in order for the game to be developed. Otherwise, the game is undevelopable. Like, we cannot expect them to develop the game if this is not fixed, because you will end up with basically ruining every UGC every time you do anything, or even ruining your previous home stuff. Suppose like they won't release stuff like they did with StarCraft 2 one day. One can dream, right? If this happens, you risk to break your old stuff. It's unmaintainable in my opinion. How many cliffs did I decorate? Quite a lot. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Ooh, rocks, man. I'm Rockman. There is Rocketman and there is Rockman. I am the second one. The one and only. Okay. Yeah, it's true. I think it's a problem of the American way of thinking first, which is like walk fast and break stuff. And at the same time, it is a problem of people working on this on a professional level, and they don't understand that probably the content they can create is less important and well regarded than many content the community has created over the years. Like, if you were a normal game dev in a normal setting where there is no editor, such an editor, you would probably think that what you do for the game is the most important thing ever. While maybe that's not really the case when the game is so old and you have such an editor. And there are things the player prefers over what any game company could create, even Blizzard itself. It's a problem of old age, I think. In modern games, like, there exists nothing like the Warcraft 3 editor. Or the StarCraft 2 editor, but this is so hard, so a lot of people didn't manage to do stuff with it. I think I'm almost done with this type of rock. Only all of these areas left. This is done. So cool. I did most of the map. I did that. I did that too. Oh yes, that's nice. Pum 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 pum. I find terraining extremely relaxing. Oh, I really want to be finished with this campaign. I'm so tired. It's nice that CSW demonstrated that the fact it's taking so long, it's not my fault. It's normal. Do good stuff. And I think their new stuff is extremely more polished than when they released the first time the Orc campaign. But at the same time, some people were disappointed that they only released 4 missions. I was the one suggesting them to release only act by act. I think it's the right choice. Maybe they should have included it in the trailer, like saying this is the act. Like, I'm very specific with my trailers. They are not, because they like to try to reach for more audience outside of Warcraft 3 directly, which I usually don't. But besides this, I'm really happy they switched over to this new format of releasing act by act. This is the right choice, because it allows you to improve in following acts, and also will give you some kind of, like, yeah, I did that, I managed to do something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Lucas. But even if we were doing, suppose I'm doing this 8 hours a day, only this, okay? Suppose I can live off of this. It would be madness for me to don't have any other job, because I will need something in case this finishes. Like suppose I can earn like 3,000 euros per month by Re-Reforged. Okay, let's make this an absurd, unrealistic assumption. Then what happens when I have finished? Yeah, no. I don't really care about, like, I think there is some kind of misunderstanding. I don't really care about World of Warcraft and the lore. I care about this. This is what I care about. I might care about RTS, but you know what I would like to do if I ever finish the report? I would love to create actual proper StarCraft 2 version of StarCraft 1. Like, this kind of stuff I like. I don't like playing new games. Like, very rare games, like Baldur's Gate, I would say, I have liked to play. But otherwise, I prefer to play older games. So to me, it's more important to recreate the experience that I had when I was a child than it is to create something new. Not because I don't like something new, it can be very cool. Because I don't have the same attachment to it. There's a problem of attachment, I think. And this is why I care so much about that. But something like this as an end. Of course, one say to me, yeah, do you want to be paid to make Warcraft 3 maps? I would say, yeah, of course. I mean, I know to make Warcraft 3 maps, so I could do that, even if it was not to do Re-Reforged or something like that. But this is what I love to do. Also, I like to do RTS maps, like all the RPG stuff I can do, but I don't like as much. Maybe I will change my mind once I arrive to Rexar, but I find it extremely dull. Yeah, I really hope I will be able to finish this. And Blizzard doesn't screw up anything along the way. Or something happens and I don't manage to finish, because this is the possibility, like real life exists. And it's also more important than this. Yeah, of course. My goal for now is Reign of Chaos. Also because I think actually the gameplay of the Frozen Throne is much better overall. Like, it's much more interesting. Maybe it's not as polished as I will make it, but it's not bare bones like Reign of Chaos. Yeah. I will probably be extremely sick of the word editor. I would say, okay, guys, farewell. That has been nice, but every story at its beginning and its end. So many rocks. You know, it's been a huge time I'm not playing any new game. I've started Baldur's Gate 3 3 times, and I never finished once. One time I reached Act 3, but not because I don't like it, because I don't have time. So at a certain point I have to stop, and then when I come back I say let's do something else. But I think now if I go back, I will resume where I left. I'm not going to say yeah, stop. Will make no sense. Yeah, I dislike games the more I go on. I find playing not interesting. Like, there are other things in my life I prefer to do. Like, it looks like a waste of time. I don't have time to waste. 5 months. Depending how much time per month, because this makes a huge difference. Like, it took me 5 months, like 4 hours a day. I was like, okay, what about 4 hours a week? You know, I was reflecting about something. Because I usually find myself comparing Re-Reforged and the project with CSW, and I think we are like the competitors, but not really competitors. I never feel like competition. It's more like we are colleagues, competitors, inspiration one for the other, and everything. And I was reflecting about something. It's like I have a name, like I am the author of this, right? So I have managed to do something which is very cool from a business perspective, if business we may call this, and it is to attach my name to the creation. So basically, my name is the name of the creator of this, while for CSW it is the team name, which is a different thing. It's less recognizable. It's not the individual unit, it's the group. And it's something which I was thinking has been a right decision, like not create a team like they did. One, because I am not really good at working in team. I am terrible at working in team. I prefer to work alone. I can work in team, but I don't like it. I don't like to have other people mess with my stuff. I prefer having the players are my only judges, to be honest. The Reign of Chaos. I mean, Reign of Chaos is not a game, it's a weather condition, but for now, Reign of Chaos. Icon of Misanthrope, hello. Not really collaborators, it's more something, I don't know, it's special. But they're good guys. Really good. I trust them a lot in what they do. Like, they were extremely naive at the beginning, and they made a lot of mistakes early on. But now they understood. So I am extremely pleased with that. At the beginning, I remember at the beginning, like, you don't have to play this map, you have to look at the models. I was like, what the fuck, this is a game, you should play it. Not look at the fucking models. Who fucking care about the models? Only the stupid people who still complain about Reforged graphics talk about the models. Yeah, I think my Marchand is a good point. Like, if there is overlap in what you do, but like, suppose we were to make a campaign, okay? If I have to make a campaign, probably like the original Blizzard team did, each designer will have a certain level assigned, right? So if we have a certain level assigned, we will have like 3 levels made by me, 3 other levels made by someone else, and so on and so forth. Suppose you are part of a team. So there is overlap in this. It's unavoidable. So what you say as is fine so long, it's very, very difficult so long to respect. How do you even make sure you end up in such a situation? Okay. I think we can move on to a different type of ooh, I missed you, my brother. To me, my brother. Okay. Cool. Okay. So let's save and change the type of rock. So. Let's change variation. I think this one's also nice. I want to know your opinion about something. What do you think about the scale of the maps in Warcraft 3? Like the building scale, the doodad scale? Because some of you told before that my maps have this naturalistic, I mean it meant realistic feel to it. To them. And I was wondering, what do you think about... Oh, other time. What do you think about having very large buildings, like doodads buildings and stuff like this? Cheers. Ah. Oh. What do you mean real size? Very large, very big? Like, because my size is not realistic. Like, respect to I try to respect the size of Warcraft 3. I mean, I'm going a little big larger than overall, but I try to respect the size. But this is not a building size. Like, if this is a building size, this door will never fit this person. So this is a... Yeah. Those that you cannot attack. Like the buildings in Dalaran. Like, what is your opinion? Yes, but you cannot place a gameplay building beside the doodad building and they have a total different size. Like, I make the trees a bit larger than usual in Warcraft 3. These trees are not the default size. But not like double or triple. Yeah. Yeah, I was just curious because, you know, different styles, different approach. Yeah, Daran like Silver Moon were tricky, but Silver Moon was less tricky because there were no buildings and it actually building buildings like to train units. While in Daran there are buildings, so I try to place them far away from the others so you don't clash too much. So many rocks. They are going to also cover it with trees, okay, with large trees, which creates a lot of nice variance in the landscape. Okay. Okay, I like this. Typically, got the fact that exists people who love to hear this poor mad man talking while dressing up cliffs with rocks. Like, this is just so fun. People like you exist, my dear viewers, both in the present and in the future. It's 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Well, yeah, I mean, there's more things to do in my mission than in the original, so if it's 40 mission in the original, it can be 40 mission in mine. 40 minutes in mine. 40 hours. The mission will go on so long you're not actually summoning Archimon in real lives. Like, as soon as you manage in real life, then okay, the mission will end in a victory. Otherwise, you're going to keep going for hours and hours and hours. Sorry. Actually, the ritual spends many days because in-game time passes, so there are different days in-game. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this other type of rock too, so we can start to go with the last type of rock. Because, I mean, we don't need much more, to be honest, so... Let's go with another type of rock. Now, let's try with something which is a bit less... a bit more plain. Like this. There is something really special and relaxing about dressing natural landscapes that I was never able to get when resting cities. Like in cities, I always felt like pain when resting. Like in the natural landscape, it's so relaxing. Like you just play stuff. Is there Blizzard in chat? No Blizzard in chat? Lowest entropy is asking if Blizzard is in chat to answer. Can please Blizzard answer if in chat? Very nice. Yeah. It's basically all natural. I think cities are finished. Walk on Sir Reign of Chaos. I think mainly the fact it's easier is because it's a bit more random. Like I have more... I can play stuff a bit more freely with respect to the usual. Fucking cities are done. The Undead campaign is the most bare-bone campaign in the original game. Like this pattern here. Perfect. Now it's much better looking. Yeah, natural as distinguish. It's a bit more random. Like in a city, you have to make sure even the angles are correct because otherwise it doesn't make much sense. Here you can be much more relaxed about everything. Well, it is relaxing. Like this is something extremely relaxing. I don't have to think too much when I do this. Which to me is like half the work. Oh, first message. Why exciting? I've made so many. I hate you, by Marchand. Martimana, you have to understand that this is not the first map I'm making in Reforged. There are many maps, and I think Reforged graphics looks very good. Yeah, it's true for melee, I understand that. I never fully understood why. Like, I think for melee I can understand why, but I don't understand why for everything else, basically. Like, for melee maybe, yeah. But mostly for pro, like a casual can play on Reforged just fine. Yeah, also because the graphics was the only thing actually done. Yeah, I was thinking about that in my Marchombre. But yeah, Martimana, it's probably true. It's Reforged was, and in partly still is, very lackluster as a game because it was not finished. Okay, and it's true, but I think the graphics was the only thing which was finished, and people got pissed about the graphics. So yeah, I think for melee there is a point in units being less recognizable. I have to say that's true. But I also think that one of the problems is that the terrain of melee is extremely bad in Reforged graphics because it was never meant to be in Reforged graphics. Like, the two games can hardly coexist. Like, you cannot have something in Reforged and SD and look good in both, I think. Or if you can, it's extremely hard to achieve. It's all PBR. Each one of these, diffuse, normal, ORM. This is the definition of PBR. It's all PBR. So ORM is metallic, alpha, roughness, and normal is the normal map, and diffuse is the color. Okay, so they have all the textures, including the terrain, as all the PBR textures. So this is all PBR. Something StarCraft 2 is only partially, and Heroes of the Storm it is not, for example, PBR. Oh, we're back with that. No. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like this because I disabled the light, but this is how it looks. This has a normal map and everything. This is all PBR. You see the difference? No light, just diffuse, light. No light, light. I work with no light because it's easier to blend stuff together. Yes, I think that as a map maker we should be able to enforce the graphic style we want. They look bad because there is only one directional light. Basically, the way to make it look better would be to add ambient light, which gives you a basic diffuse color, and then add the directional light on top. This is what I do in all of my maps. This one doesn't have it already, so it looks more basic, and this is why if you look at stuff from a certain angle, it's so damn black. Like, this is not how it should look. This is not correct, like, too black. From this angle, it's good. From this angle, it's not. Okay, so this should not work like this. This is a problem of the lights, not the materials or the textures. Hello, Mr. Fresco. Thank you for the kind words. Even if they are in Italian, so other people will not understand, but I do so. Thank you. Okay. Our beloved rocks. I think that work on some rocks we are mostly done. We'll keep adding some more, but I'm pretty happy with the overall result. Also because since we have trees in the middle, having too many rocks doesn't really gives you the right vibe, I think. I should add trees, more trees. At least the context was easy to understand. I mean, someone from Italy writing to me and it's not one of my students, it's really very cool for me. More than I expect from the people of my country. Okay. Oh, so you understand. You understand that I have to speak English, right? Because this is a stream in English, so I need to be inclusive with everyone there. Yeah. The shipmaster being from Sardinia. Any Italian will understand. Yeah. Ah. Okay. Okay. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay, here we are with some more rocks. See, 1 second. Suppose it crashes and I lose everything. I will cry. You will see a grown-ass man cry. Okay. I should write a book. And the book should be a systematic approach of placing rocks. At placing rocks. Like. How the science of rock make games possible. Like, I really feel it's extremely systematic here. Yeah, also, I also like to place some rocks in the middle of the lake to show like some small chunks coming out of water. Exactly, yeah. The biggest bestseller of all. Systematic approach to rocks. Why adding rocks is going to change your life forever. Why are rocks the reason of peace in the world? The universal theory of rocks. Okay. There's some of this. Oh. So many. Okay. The bulk is done. Like there could be some little detail here and there that I can add, but I think overall the bulk is completed. I would like to add some trees now. Otherwise we only get rocks. Like I know you love rocks, but maybe some trees now can really make a difference. So I have before that I have large tree. So here we go. Nah, there are already too many books about trees in the world. Like trees can improve vastly the look of areas without making them look too mountain-like. Okay, here we are. Okay, very nice. I will also show you in game because the editor doesn't make it justice, but in game this looks amazing. As you can see, the trees are complementing the rocks. They're adding some life where the rocks are. I will also add bushes, of course. Okay, so it's not only this. Okay. Okay, that's nice. Let's maybe we can make some bigger, some smaller, like two. They are all too samey here. Okay. Like, suppose you explore here, you see these huge trees looming from the top. Right, very nice. And you enter here, it's so very nice. Okay, perfect. Good morning. Good morning. No, good evening. For me, good night almost. It's almost like, yeah, it's between 11 and midnight here. Yeah. I'm still applying working at the previous one, but finalizing it basically. It's last touches. I'm not going to disclose them though. At least until there is a dev diary and the Patreons and supporters will get access. Thank you, Elliot. Thank you, Elliot from YouTube. Really appreciate that. Okay. Okay, and then it's also here. Oh. Cool, that's perfect. This map, yeah, but no, really no. I think this map is going to be much faster to make respect to the previous one. Because the other Daron has a lot of secrets and stuff and nice things. Also the AI, it's all AI. Here it is, mostly player control. Like, I can create the AI, they attack. The most difficult part here will be making the pylons, but I have already a good setup with the previous map, and making the 2 heroes. But that's it. And all the spawning, but this is not that difficult, so. Yeah. It's a mage and a griffin. So I think this map... I actually have an idea that the 2 maps are going to be ready very soon. Like, when I'm done with 7, I'm also probably very close to be done with this. Because of how they are made. Like 7 is it's really expensive. If you remember, the Black Rock and Roll map took me much less time to make than 7. Because of course it was mostly standard gameplay. With some nice things here and there, but it's not as difficult as more custom stuff. Yeah, of course balancing is going to be costly, but for balancing I have my beta tester, so I'm going to just take my data and say, yeah, play test the shit out of this. No. There will be no hiatus, you will see. I will be much involved. After this, after the trees, I want to see how it looks, and then I want to place some bones. Not this kind of bones, other kind of bones. Actually, I don't know if there is any suggestion into adding more stuff to this. If we can, like, I'm all in for this. I love your campaign. Especially I love the part against scenarios. The only campaign I ever disliked is the Undead campaign. I really hate it. Every time. Okay. I think it's fine for the amount of trees that we have. Yeah, me too, Francis Barry, me too. Okay, let's see how it looks. Okay, well, this is very random. I think that campaign is not fun. Oh, I fixed the zoom. I think there's two zoom then. Is it the default? I think it's the Warcraft 3 default zoom. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's two zoom then. Anyway, this is what you see. This is how the map currently looks. I think the tower actually looks fine. I would like to add some more decorations down there. Like this for sure looks nice. We have the rocks. So many details. Okay. Yeah, it is very detailed. I really like it. With a bit better lighting, this is going to be amazing looking. I was trying to do this. Have I done it? Not yet. Yeah, this is something I was testing after We finished the stream last time. I think we can go with some more of this kind of stuff here. Yeah. So let's work a little bit on the ziggurat now. I really like how this all looks. So this is this part. Now, part of me would probably like to dress these cliffs a bit more. Like, I wonder what happens if I will try to do something like this. We preserve the hate. Okay. We're preserving the hate. Yeah. Too dark portal-ish this is, in your opinion? Too dark portal? Okay. So better these schools. The schools are better. If only they could place the school like here in the middle. Drafting out like this is extremely difficult. I'm open to suggestions. Yeah, actually, yes. Like these red runes, I don't really like. But yeah, I'm actually going for something like catacombs. Because what else can I place? Like this is like a ruined Daran thing, which is then dressed by the Scourge. Like I'm happy with the braziers and stuff. This I'm happy. I'm also happy with some of these obelisks. They look nice. We could do something like this. Yeah, but I don't have any model to make that. It's difficult to create architecture without elements. Like these school piles are basically the only thing that I have with the obelisks. No, northern stuff doesn't really fit. Like this is northern, but it has the snow. Like I've hidden it using recoloring it, but it's evident it has snow. It has snow. It's visible. Like stuff to dress up the walls like this. The question is, do you think that having schools like this on every step basically of this ziggurat is the correct approach or not? Hello there, Dagran, welcome. This is the question. Do you think it fits to have schools on the walls and all of that like this? Also, schools are a recurrent theme in the Undead. You have to tell me this. I placed basically all the rocks on the biggest rocks in the map and the trees, and replaced the trees. And now we're looking to the how to correctly dress up this ziggurat. Like, I'm happy with the obelisks, even though I might replace this with this because these have the snow on top. I'm happy with the braziers and the overall ground. I'm not really happy. I mean, I am happy with some of these skulls, but I think they need to be more of them then. Like, the ziggurat here has this kind of stuff. I don't know if this will fit or where. This is 90 degrees, so... In general, the piles of school are nice, but maybe some skeletal walls. Yeah, some walls here dressed with the skeletons. I can add more bones. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so this should go here. This is the ziggurat model, okay? How do I hide this inside the cliffs? Yeah, I think I have to use something like some pieces of that. I think that pieces of this can really work. But there are knives, so let's see what is a knife. I prefer to use the scourge kind, so. That's not really. Graveyard do that. Undead do that. Okay. Hmm. This doesn't work. This is actually nice. Undead rock. Should they have a rock? Doesn't make much sense for the undead. Much makes sense for the Forsakens. Do you remember that? Looks cool. There's a lot of stuff here. Yeah, they could feed the Forsaken. Yeah, you're from the beach. Lucky you. I'm not finding anything. Maybe we should check this. Fuck, do that. On that rock. I'm not really finding anything. No. Meat wagon parts. Okay. This is what we're talking about here. This. I don't really like this. Let me see in 3D. This is extremely stretched. I don't like this at all. No, we can do better. No. No, no, no. Yeah. Like, let's find a place where there is no many school. Like, let me remove some schools from here. I think that if we remove these horrible things and this stop, so up until here, this could work fine. Like, I can increase it a bit. We remove the base. We get something like this. Like, I don't know, because if I do this, but how many times can I do this? Like, can I do it again here? Will it look good? Or maybe because honestly, one thing that could work on straight walls is something like this, even in the low ground. This and this to the side. Like modular pieces built out of the ziggurat. I think I can build them on my own, to be honest. I think I can do this. I can take the ziggurat model and start building stuff like this on my own. And have this for the sides. So tam-tam, tam-tam. Okay, yeah, I think I can do this on my own. Okay. So, no, Smeg has other things to do which are much more difficult than this static 2 dots. I can do them myself. Because Smeg is very, it has a lot of things to do, so I don't want to tax him too much. Okay, so I think it's due time. Thank you, everyone. We enjoyed some rocks, we enjoyed some trees, and we are thinking about how to improve the look of the ziggurat. The layout is very good to the ziggurat. I think it's very easy to play and very nice. But we need to improve how it looks for what concern the cliffs, because yeah, cliffs are nice. These cliffs are less nice because they're not scourge cliffs. These are Dark Red cliffs. I can help if you want. Okay, we can speak about that, Flynn. Okay, it's appreciated. So, with that said, I will speak with you on Discord, Mr. Flynn. And to everyone else from the present, and especially from the future, thank you so much for watching, for staying with me up until now. Remember, you get support on PayPal, on Patreon, on Twitch, and even on YouTube. If you support, this is very, very appreciated, and you help me keeping the lights on. With that said, thank you again, and see you on the next Let's Dev. Have a nice night.